So you have a curriculum for your child and youth development program. You're ready for them. Screech! Pump your brakes, not so fast. Your staff, camp counselors, youth workers, VBS volunteers, teachers, coaches, mentors, etc., need to be educated, equipped, and empowered about child and adolescent social-emotional development, culturally responsive interventions, culturally responsive problem-solving strategies, child and adolescent mental health critical issues, how to recognize, understand, and manage issues related to family dynamics. It not only benefits the staff, but also the children and youth. The benefits for the children and youth are: 1. They will feel psychologically safe with a caring and supportive adult. 2. They will be transformed by a trusting relationship with an understanding adult. 3. They will relate better to others because they are better understood. RUMERTIME Prevention Intervention Coaching.
I choose to only think of thoughts. I choose to only think like thoughts. I choose to only think like thoughts. Rumor time reflects. When my mind is upset, I can change my mindset. Do not be thrown offset. Rumor time reset. Rumor time.
All right. Well, hello, everyone.
Hello.
All right. Welcome, everyone. We're so happy you're here today to join us again. Just to remind you, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and GC Squad is going to keep doing what we do. And Geneva is going to tell you what we do, what our mission is,
Yeah. I'll be glad. Hello, everyone. I'm bringing you greetings from the lovely state of South Carolina. And our mission at GC Squad is right there in your face. We're here to renew minds, transform lives, and create safer communities. So welcome, everyone.
Yes. All right. And Vanessa will tell us what social emotional health and wellness is.
Good afternoon, everyone. So what is social emotional health and wellness? So it's a person's ability to recognize, understand, manage, express, and reflect on their thoughts, interactions, mindsets, and emotions as it relates to self, others, and situations. You effectively utilize these competencies, and they educate, they equip, and empower individuals of all ages, stages, and locations to successfully navigate daily activities such as loving, learning, earning, and relationship building, problem solving, and adapting to the demands of growth and development.
All right. Laverne.
One of the main tools that we have at our disposal through this program is the RUMERTIME process. And you can see there that rumor and time are two separate words. So you go through the first part, R, which is recognize, and you do that for your thoughts, for your interactions, for your mindsets, and your emotions. Then you dig a little deeper by understanding. And then you understand your thoughts, your interactions, your mindsets, and emotions. Once you've dug deeper, then you have a way to start thinking about, now that I have this information, how can I manage my thoughts, my interactions, my mindsets, and my emotions. And you go through the whole process until you get down to R, and then you reflect on all of the work that you've done on your thoughts, your interactions, your mindsets, and your emotions. And you keep doing that again and again through this process for all of your interactions.
Absolutely. Thank you. It's an ongoing process that does not end. Okay. It does not end until you die, of course. Okay. And so the definition, so we gave you the acronym, what it stands for. The RUMERTIME process then is a 5-step, culturally responsive, social emotional problem solving strategy that helps individuals move from a position of intra and interpersonal imbalance to a position of intra and interpersonal balance, and from unconscious living to conscious living. So this is the first few minutes of our podcast. We do what we call educate. Right? We educate you about what we're going to be talking about so that you have a context for what we're talking about. And we're going to have some further education this May 19th, where we have the social emotional first aid training. It's a 1-day training, and it's on Thursday, May 19th, and it starts at 10 o'clock, and it goes until 3:30. And registration and things, getting to know each other starts from 10 to 10:30, and we dive into the meat of the training starting at 10:30. It is $90, and you will be able, if you so choose and you can get National Board Certified Counseling CEUs and NASW, National Association for Social Work CEUs as well. And for those who are teachers in Indiana, you can get professional growth points, or PGPs. And if you need some type of certification or some type of notification that you attended this workshop, we will be more than happy to furnish that to you. And who should attend? That would be you. You should attend. If you are reading this announcement, if you're hearing me speak this announcement, you are a survivor and thriver of COVID. We are experiencing all types of challenges in every setting: home, school, work, community settings. People are the anxiety and depression rates in every setting are skyrocketing. Suicide attempts and completions are occurring everywhere. The numbers are increasing. This social emotional first aid training is going to be your first step toward continuing to be a balanced and conscious survivor and thriver of the pandemic that we're still in. And so that is May 19th. Please go online to register. Go to our website, www.everypeacematters.com, and you will get the details of the workshop. Then we have our summer camp, our RUMERTIME virtual family summer camp. And our theme for this year is Time Matters. Thoughts, interactions, mindsets, and emotions matter. Contact us at rfsc@gcscore.org, or go to our website, www.everypeacematters.com. That's July 17th to 31st. July 17th to 31st. This is an international family summer camp. And so go to the website, get in touch with us. We're looking forward to you coming and being a part of this amazing experience. We are now in our 4th year of RUMERTIME Family Summer Camp, and in our 3rd year of it being virtual. All right. So we look forward to seeing you, and we look forward to our conversation. And with us today is none other than our esteemed guest, Miss Marquita Brown. Marquita, could you tell our viewing and listening audience a little bit about who you are? Tell them a little bit about your business. You're a business owner, and we're just proud of another sister handling her story. So go ahead, Marquita. We can't hear.
Okay, hello. Yes,
Yeah.
Hello.
I'm Marquita Brown, and I've been in Elkhart, Indiana for 20 years. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. I've been here. I have 5 boys. My youngest is 21, and
What's your business? Tell us about your business.
I have a divine transportation business. I take people to work. My first pickup is at 4 a.m. I take them to work and I pick them up from work, and I do miscellaneous. I take people to doctor's appointments. I take them to grocery stores and take them to UP Mall shopping, and anyway, I take the children skating and take them to the movies, and I've been doing this for about 5 years, and so that's what I do. You can contact me. My number is 574-606-3368, and I also have a email, which is divineontime728@gmail.com.
All right.
All right. So we're gonna put that up on the screen,
Yes.
and so that people can also contact you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yes. So let's get into our conversation for today. Laverne, you wanna lead us out in your first question to Marquita. What was the first question you had? We can't hear you.
Oh, everybody's being muted.
Oh, sorry. I forgot what my first question was. Do you remember? Yvonne?
Okay, well, we'll see. So, Marquita, how did you first get to know about the RUMERTIME process? How did you first get in touch with the RUMERTIME process?
I got in contact with RUMERTIME. I got introduced through Kelly, someone that worked at CCJ.
Mm-hmm.
Introduced me. She asked me to join the classes, and I
Okay.
said yes.
Yeah. And so you were a part of a cohort of other Elkhart. How do you call people from Elkhart? Elkhartians?
Natives of Elkhart.
Natives
People
of
with a
Elkhart.
heart.
People with a heart, the city with a heart.
That's
Right.
right.
So you were part of a group who was sponsored by the Center for Community Justice, and Kelly Hennings was your leader for that project. Kelly Hennings and Erwin Laria, and so you were invited. Do you have any idea maybe why Kelly chose you?
I think she chose me because I'm known in the community to talk to a lot of people, like a lot of people come to me and talk to me. I'm a known minister in the community, and I believe that she probably chose me to be one of the people that joined the program to give me more knowledge, to help me to expand my knowledge, to be able to help more effectively, to be able to learn more about how to help someone, and I believe, to learn how to help myself first in order to help someone else.
Right. Good point. And so, something I want to say here, right? Something about the CFA training or anything that has to do with GC Scored. It is a very community-based grassroots task sharing, task shifting model or framework. And that is because we believe that we must first engage, educate, equip, and empower individuals first. And these individuals, like Marquita, will then take what she's learned, use it on herself, and then work with people within her community. So what we're doing is the mission of GT Squad is to empower local people, regular people, to be able to help themselves and others renew their minds, transform their lives, and create safer communities. We don't believe in us zooming in, coming in, and telling you how to run your life and your community. We're going to educate you, equip you, and empower you so that you can make the difference. You can create safer communities. And that is what Kelly did with Marquita. And so thank you, Marquita. Geneva, I think you were going to say something, Geneva.
I was going to just ask a question of Marquita, because when the training was offered to you for the purpose of further equipping you, you mentioned that you're a known minister, known in the community, you know, as a helper, right? And so Kelly recognized the need or believed that this training would be a benefit to help you better help others.
Right.
So what I wanted you to share with us today is how was it first helpful to you? So while you went into the training with the thought of getting prepared to help others, what was your experience like in that training? How did the training minister to you?
Okay, first I can give you an example. Do you know how they had on big balloons that float in the air?
The blimps.
Then they put the air.
Yes.
That's what? Say that again.
And when you put the air in it and it go. That was my first experience in this place.
Oh, really?
Sometimes you think you hear, but when you get the knowledge.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So what I got out of it is that I really was not where I thought I was at.
Give me an example of that.
And so
not where you thought you were.
Okay, so far as in the first thing, the most important thing that I think is missing so much in every one of these community of settings of helping and therapeuting other people is to get to know the culture of a person. And I think that was the best piece up in here because everybody is different. And they got a saying that you treat people the way that you want to be treated, but you got to treat people the way they want to be treated. Everybody don't want to be treated the same.
Right. Yeah.
So when you get to know my culture, when you get to know people's culture, you will know you won't be offended if one person put their head down and talk to you. You will know that their culture is that they don't look out of people. Then, you know, so what it did for me is it showed me to be able to better help somebody else that I need to really go learn about learn a little bit more the steps in a little bit more about yourself, what you don't know. And so sometimes you can get so high in your learning that you stop learning. And we're supposed to be forever learning, not applying the truth, but we're supposed to be able to always learn. And sometimes when you get in that balloon place, you forget to learn, and then CFA training come and put the air in you.
CFA training come and pop your balloon, huh? Pop you.
Marquita, when we have guests on the show, we like to hear if they have specific stories where they can see how they related to the story before being exposed to Rumor Time, and then how they relate to that same story after being exposed to Rumor Time. And so I wanted to ask you about your son, if you would be willing to share how you related to your son years ago, and now having gone through the training of Rumor Time, how you're able to relate to that son or that whole situation with your son, if you'd be willing to share that with us.
So after getting Rumor Time, before Rumor Time, emotions had me, and I didn't have my emotions. My emotions wasn't sound and stable. So Rumor Time, it's social emotional first aid.
C for training. Mm-hmm.
It's a social emotional first aid training. And so that means you have to deal, it's important to deal with your emotions and to acknowledge your emotions and to be emotionally available, but to have power over your emotions. And so before the training, I dealt with a situation with my sons when he got in trouble. When he got in a situation, age of 14, he got in a bad situation. And I dealt with the situation, my emotions and my fear. I wasn't aware of my my intellect. I wasn't conscious.
Uh-huh.
I was not aware of what I was doing. I was working in fear, and there was a part of me that was just automatic. A mother automatic. I was being an automatic mother, doing things automatic and not doing things. Whereas I'm recognizing and understanding and being able to manage where I'm at. I was able to manage the situation properly before Rumor Time. So now my son was in a situation and I wasn't able to manage because my emotions wasn't sound and stable. I wasn't aware and I was unconscious. And so my son got into another situation. And in this time, I was able to be aware and be conscious of my thoughts. I was able to have my emotions sound and stable. I was able to check out my intellect. I know that my feelings had no intellect. I knew that my feelings had no intellect. And so what my feelings was, it's my thoughts that control my feelings.
That's right.
That it's my thoughts that control my feelings. And so I can't say what I feel because they have no intellect. What if I feel this way? And so give you a time to pull back and to take control over your emotions, over your thoughts, and then you'll be more aware of how to deal with a situation that's so traumatic, that's so emotionally involved.
Awesome.
If I were looking at you, on the outside, if I were looking at you when your son was 14, and now I'm looking at you when your son is however old he is,
Older.
what would I see different in the way that you're behaving?
What you'll see different is that that we was trained to fake it till you make it. I never was good at that. I never.
Neither me, girl. Don't.
I never was good at faking it till you make it, and I was never good at you have to, we be trained to be strong and you can't go through and you got to be a soldier and you got to be. And so what I got out of, let me calm down, let me slow down. And so now, wait, what was the question again?
If I were looking at you from the outside.
Right. If you was looking at me from the outside from then, and what you see now is that what you see is real. I'm not faking it till I make it. I'm stable, and I realize that I'm in a situation. I'm not happy, but I have joy. I have stability. My emotions, I have control of my emotions, and I examine what go through my mind. And I be aware of what go through my mind. I'm consciously in this situation. I have to escape my emotion. I'm not unemotionally available.
So what I'm saying is that before you would just kind of react away. You just automatically react to the situation. And now you're able to take 1 or 2 seconds to just like,
Rumerize.
Rumerize. Yes.
I'm to recognize, and it's just like the word is be still and stable. Don't be unmovable. Be steadfast, unmovable. And so it's that it goes with what I know but it give me another insight of how to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
It tell you to be sound and stable and unmovable, but RUMERTIME, it tell you how to do it.
That's right. That's right. Let's tweet that out.
Yeah.
The word tells you what to do, but RUMERTIME tells you how to do it.
Mhm.
Can I get an amen?
Amen. Yes.
And you know what you said? Oh, we have a comment here from Loislin. She said, "I can relate to this as a mother."
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Loislin. Thank you, Loislin.
Thanks for sharing that. I believe we all can, right?
Yeah.
So, and that kind of relates. Oh, go ahead.
It's not safe to emotionally deal with your children when you're in a situation. It's not safe and it's not healthy to deal with situations just as a mother. You gotta have something. You gotta have more than you. You gotta have something, and it gotta be in you already. If I didn't have RUMERTIME, if I didn't have social emotional first aid, including my word, then I wouldn't have been able to stand. You can't, I said it before, you can't get ready. Sometimes you have to be ready.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
For the mothers that's saying that they can relate, when you have a mother instance come up, but a mother instance is unhealthy if you emotional and you're gonna wreck something. A woman emotions, anybody out of emotions will tear town up. When your emotions not safe, when you have feelings that have no intellect, you will tear something up.
You tear it up, girl.
Well, this goes right in line. If I can just jump in right here and say, earlier we were talking about like unaddressed wounds, right? And individuals just living a life of covering up layers of wounds. And so by not effectively dealing with that, you know, what happens? Or perhaps when you relate that to your own story, what difference did RUMERTIME make for you? And probably before answering that is maybe share some examples of what you were covering up.
Right.
Wounds, years of wounds on top of wounds, and not effectively or consciously dealing with those.
So I would say, first of all, like when you covering up, sometimes you unaware that you covering up. I said that people don't want to believe what happened at 10 in childhood, that it affect your nowhood, your adult.
Oh, I like that. What happened? Wait. Tweet.
That's a tweet.
What happened in childhood affects your nowhood.
Your nowhood.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Let's get a tweet somewhere. Write that somewhere. What happened in childhood affects your nowhood. Go ahead, Marketta.
The unaddressed wounds that you saying that we talking about, some people is unaware because they live in unconscious that they have an unaddressed wound, because I talked about we rather not deal with it today, and today become a year, today become 3 years that I'm not dealing with it. And so we got unaddressed wounds, and so the way we deal with things is we deal with the now and don't know you're really dealing with what happened 10 years ago, but you're dealing with it in your now. Right. So it's affecting the way you deal with it in your personalities, in your thoughts. You're not using your intellect, rumerizing. You're not recognizing your time. You're not recognizing your intellect. You're not recognizing your emotions, and you're not able to manage. When you're wounded and you have unaware wounds, some people have unaware wounds because your truth became what they said and not what the truth is.
The real truth.
The truth is
covered. It's covered up.
Living a lie, but it's not the truth until what they say to you become the truth to you.
Right.
So it's not the truth.
That's right.
I'm so happy to hear you talk about truth, because in the RUMERTIME process, we say and we advocate that it is necessary for a person to accurately and honestly, assess themselves in situations and in interactions with other people and even with themselves. You gotta be honest. The lack of that is just another cover.
It's another cover. And then what it does, like Marquita said, what happened in your childhood
Oh yeah,
becomes a reality in your nowhood,
that's right.
right? And that happens when we continuously cover and cover and
Yeah.
cover. And
Oh
so
geez,
you
I gotta say, let me just say this
go
one.
ahead,
So
go ahead, go ahead.
it's so important. I'm so thankful for Rumor Time, right? For the Rumor Time process, because it helps to unearth and unveil the truth. Because imagine now I'm 50 years old, but I'm responding to similar things, those triggers, things that happened in my childhood that I never effectively dealt with. And so they're now in my nowhood,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to respond the same way I did as in my childhood. Can you imagine what a mess? That makes me a hot mess, right? Because I'm not effectively dealing with it. I'm not being honest with myself. I'm just steady covering, years and years of
of,
covering.
of covering. And Marquita in the pre-show, she said, you told us about a situation at work, Marquita. Tell us about that. Tell the viewers about that, because I think that is powerful and it
Mhm.
speaks to what happens in your childhood getting triggered in your nowhood.
Mhm.
And if you experienced it, you were more conscious of it after going through the rumor time process. So tell our viewers that story, please.
Mhm.
So I on my job, I work with clients that's disabled,
Mhm.
and so they fail during one of my shifts. They fail, and so when they fail, we got them up and they begin to limp. And so I did my paperwork and reports, and I constantly reported. And because of the stigma, because of his behavior, it was overlooked because, you know, he probably just acting up, this, that, and the other. And time went by, and I kept addressing the matter and kept addressing the matter. And I finally got someone that listened to me. Took him to the hospital, and I come in the workplace the next morning, and the person I work with throw me the discharge papers from my client, and I read it, and he said, yeah, leg was broken in certain places, and I lose my breath. I run out the job place, and I go outside, and I begin to cry, and I'm crying, and I'm so hurt, like it was my leg broken. I'm like, and I was hurt because he was unattended to, and it hurt me bad. And I'm noticing that because I'm aware now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm conscious, and I'm like, why did that hurt so bad?
Mhm.
Mm.
Why did that hurt me so bad? Why did that hurt like it was me? And I said, God, I need you to show me why did that hurt so bad.
Mm.
It took me back to my childhood when I fell and broke my arm.
Mm.
But I went to the hospital. I went and they said I was okay. And so so my mom, I still had to wash dishes. I still had to mop the floor. I still had to go to school and do my work. And my arm was hurting so bad. And I'm saying my arm hurt. Ain't nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. And then a week later, the doctor called and said, bring her to the hospital. Her arm broke.
Mm.
And so I wasn't aware. I had to go back, and this had to happen. I'm 45.
Mm.
5 years old. It happened when I was about 12 or 13 years old.
Wow.
And
That's
because of the awareness and unconscious, that thing, we talked about wounds and barrenness.
mm.
Before that happened, I would have just felt like, man, I was in my feelings. Oh, he got hurt. I'm all in my feelings, like it was me. I wouldn't have
Right.
never had the conscience or the awareness to understand that pain was different than the regular.
Yes.
That's empathy.
Yes.
That wasn't just empathy right there. I wouldn't have been able to know that. I would have went away thinking, oh, I really felt him. Oh, I really my feelings
Yeah.
for him. And it would have still been unaddressed. But because of awareness, because of my I'm able to manage my emotions. And I said, what was that? Why did that hurt so bad?
Yeah.
Mm.
Childhood hurt came up, and I began to let it go. And I began to get it up off me. And so that wound is
Yes. That is
You
amazing.
had a mind to even question it. You
Yes.
had
Right.
a mind to question these emotions. Why am I crying like this? Like, what is this about?
And so
Otherwise,
you were able to do that because you went through the CFA training, the social emotional first aid training, where we educate, equip, and empower you to ask those questions, to dig deep, so
how
that
to recognize,
exactly how to recognize,
understand.
Yes.
understand,
And,
manage, express, and reflect. And you did all of that
yeah.
as a newfound skill. And so that whole situation with the patient took on a whole different meaning. And this is what we want every human being across the globe to experience. Everyone. Let me ask you a question, Marquita. After you recognized the connection between the childhood and the nowhood, and the impact the CFA training, the social emotional first aid training had on that particular situation, maybe now you can say, how do you see yourself? How do you feel about that discovery?
I feel for that discovery, it gave me a backup. What it did was it gave me it began to make me a part of me whole. So that you're not whole until you're healed.
Mm.
And so that was a piece of me. That's a wholeness for me. And so it's hard to help other people become whole when you're not whole.
Right. Right.
And so what that did for me, it gave me back. I was able to get the wound. It's not just covered up. We got a lot of covered up wounds.
Yes.
If you got a hole in your feet, if you got a hole in your toe, just come step on your toe and you knock them in the next room. Your response to them stepping on your toe is not a normal response, and that's because you got a hole in it.
Yes.
It's an unknown wound.
Yes.
You know that's there, and you probably don't know it's there until it's touched.
Exactly.
And so now that wound popped up, and I was able to address the wound. And see, the thing about human beings, when wounds pop up, we address the now. I don't believe that childhood has something to do with the way I'm addressing this now situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't deal with surface situations. Like I said, I would have said, "Oh, I was so in my feelings for his feet, his legs."
Right.
I would have put the word empathy in the wrong place. I would have put the knowledge. We got a lot of knowledgeable people that's messed up because we apply knowledge on top of knowledge, is not healing.
Yeah.
So we got people in high places that's hurt and they got power, but they don't have healing.
Yes.
I like what you said about looking at things on the surface, right? And in the RUMERTIME process, we refer to those as fruits, right? And so we limit it. We're looking at the fruit. But in the RUMERTIME process, we learn that you can't just put all your focus and concentration in the fruit. You got to dig deeper, look at the root. Why is something the way it is? Why does someone behave the way they're behaving? There's a root to that fruit. And the fruit can be bitter or sweet, right? It could be good or not so good. But there's a root to every fruit. And you're absolutely right. We can just shuck it off, keep our eyes on the fruit and never give any attention to the root. But you're right. That childhood experience down there in the root, at the root level, is impacting what's happening in the nowhood. Childhood impacting the nowhood.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. Good
stuff. Vanessa, could you read our comments for us, please?
Sure. First, I want to say thank you, Ms. Marquita, for sharing that. And we did have a lot of response based on what you just shared from our listeners. So one of the responses is that seal, like putting a cover on something, seal does not equal heal. To me, that's another tweetable moment.
That is a tweetable. That's a tweet, man.
Yes.
That's a tweet.
Seal does not equal heal.
Yes.
And they go on to say that sealing a wound is different as I listen to her story. And again, every piece really does matter. And Ms. Marquita, one of the things that I wanted to bring up is you shared you're not whole until you begin to heal. And in our pre-show, we talked about times where maybe traumas that happen in our childhood that we are not able at that time to deal with. And one of the things that you had shared was that there is a time where being emotionally unavailable is safe. And for us as humans, our first instinct is self-preservation. And so there are times in our lives when things happen that may be too overwhelming to us. And that could have been an example of that, what you shared about breaking your arm. We suppress those things. And then it's not until something else happens, like your client falling and you finding out that his leg was broken. Then again, that's when we, are able to recall things that may have happened to us in our lives and then deal with the trauma of that situation. So I just want to know if you could talk maybe a little bit, or if we could talk a little bit about things that happen to us in our lives that maybe at the time is too overwhelming to us, because it happens, right? That's why we call it trauma. It's too overwhelming for us to deal with at the time, and it doesn't come back up until later on. And that's where we are living unconsciously, because we are not able to deal with, some of that trauma.
So, go ahead.
I'm very good question, Vanessa. Very good, and it's making me think. Here's what I'm thinking: a couple of things. One, I say that emotions are not disorders. Feelings are not disorders. They're indicators. They're messengers, right? So should we, as a society, global society, should we stigmatize indicators or emotions? That's one question. The next question is in reference to what Vanessa is saying and Marquita's experience with her client. I'm wondering, should we try to push away? Okay, should we try to push away experiences that are not comfortable if those experiences help us dig up trauma and allow us to heal? Let's just say that Marquita was like, oh, why they messing with this guy? Just leave it alone, whatever. I'm moving on, trying to move away from that trauma of the patient, but not understanding that in facing that patient's broken leg, she was going to be experiencing healing, and her healing may have been delayed if she did not go through the CFA training. But if she had gone through it and say she didn't apply it, she would have missed that opportunity to clean that wound and deal with that trauma and now experience wholeness in that particular area. I mean, what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think? I mean,
that was deep.
Conscious living takes a lot of work. I mean,
yes.
That's why we try to live our lives unconsciously. A lot of people try to be unconscious because it brings up a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
That's why we push it away. But doing the work, as Ms. Marquita has been sharing with us, allows her the next time something comes up to be more present instead of being unconscious. Yeah, it hurts. Doesn't always feel good, but it allows us to be more prepared for the next situation. You know, Marquita says sometimes you can't get ready. You have to be ready.
Be ready.
So going through this, you know, the investigation that she did with that patient, when she comes to a different situation, there's less investigation that she'll have to do because she's already been practicing it.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, what do you think? So we should we then welcome uncomfortable, like Missy said, we avoid discomfort. Should we stop trying to avoid discomfort? I'm not saying to go out and search for it, because clearly it comes, right? Marquita was at work and this thing happened. So it's not like you wake up in the morning and say, oh, let me go and find some discomfort. Let me go and find some.
No, right. She didn't go searching for it. It showed up.
It shows up. And that's how it shows up for all of us. None of us go out looking for stuff.
That's right.
I mean, there's some people who do, but none of us here right now and our viewers go out looking for discomfort.
Yeah.
So when it comes, should we, Laverne, what do you want to say?
Well, I'm just saying, welcome is a strong word.
Okay, what would you use instead?
I mean, embrace maybe, but welcome is what I do when good friends come over and I'm about to have a good time.
Okay, I got you.
Or just simply say, stay there in a minute. Like, acknowledge it. Like, don't rush away from it. Like, spend some time right there. Like, pause.
Sit with it.
Just stay right there for a moment, you know, because we talked earlier about, you know, being emotionally unavailable seems safe, right? It seems safe. It seems like there's a level of protection. But the truth is that's unconscious living. You're not living consciously, you know, being emotionally unavailable. So there was something even deeper that Marquita didn't even realize, right? But she had a mind to ask herself some questions. And that was the thing that started to remove the cover.
Right. And that mind, she was able to get that mindset after sitting through the 12 weeks of the social emotional first aid training. So there's some comments in the chat.
There was actually one that, if we can go back, I don't see it right now, but Loislin made a comment about masking, right? Does anybody?
So Loislin's, so she said you put on a mask and deny yourself in order to fit in. Rumor Time then digs deep, and you have no choice but to deal with it.
I love it.
Then you can start healing.
Yes, it's moving from that unconscious living to conscious living. Thanks, Loislin, for sharing that. That's one of the things I wanted to point out, because it's easy to cover. It's easy to put on that mask and pretend or try to fit in, but it's just another layer. We're just covering stuff that really is screaming to be exposed. But sometimes we do such a good job of covering, it gets so deep, it becomes voiceless. You can't even hear the scream.
Yeah, and that's like what Laverne was saying, right? Unconscious living, it's easier to live unconsciously. It's easier to live unconsciously. Loislin, what do you want to say in regard to some of the comments that we just read? What do you want to say to our viewing and listening audience?
You said Loislin, you meant Marquita.
Not Loislin, I meant Marquita.
Marquita.
Okay, well, I'm gonna be real transparent right now. Okay,
please do.
So before my relationship with God, before Rumor Time, it's a thing called learned behavior. And so we was, you know, exposure bring closure. Right? Talk about stuff. You keep what going on in your house. You stay in your house. You don't go around telling your business. Therapy is for people that's crazy. You don't go sit on nobody's couch and tell nobody your business. These are the things. This is learned behavior. These are the things that you don't go around. You don't show what you feel. You put your face on. These are all learned behaviors. And so when you say that we have to address our stuff, address it and do rumor time before God, before me knowing God, before me doing rumor time and all this trauma that I encountered, I had a escape. I had an unconscious living. I smoked weed. I got high. I was very promiscuous. And that was my escape. Those the unconscious things. You only know better. You only can do. Some people say you know better, you do better. But sometimes you know better and don't know how to apply the better.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Are tools and you gotta use them. Either way it go. But the thing about it is some people don't have these tools.
Yes.
And so I got rumor time, or before I got God, I had the people that had learned behavior. Everybody that's drinking and smoking or something, it's because you're covering up. This is my unconscious living. I'm trying to lose my mind on purpose. I got high on purpose.
Right.
I was trying to lose my mind. I didn't want to focus on the life that I created because of the trauma that happened to me. And so because of my sexual trauma, because of my sexual abuse, I began to escape life. And so because when that trauma happened, when it ended, that's when it began. So now my education being molested, my voice being molested, my choices being molested. I don't have a voice.
That's deep.
Voice. It's gone. And so we talk about applying all these things. And right now, a lot of people out there, all they know to do is to wake up, is to get high. That's how they function. That was my function. That was my medicine. Most people that do it call it their medication. Hold on, let me get my medication.
Right.
So we talk this morning. Let me get my medication before I deal with these 5 kids with no baby daddies, no education. I cannot function in life with this. I don't even want to be conscious.
You don't want to be conscious. You don't want to be conscious.
That's the anesthesia. Let me anesthetize myself.
Yeah, you don't be conscious.
I don't know how to deal with the life that have been made for me. And so now I got God and I know the word, but some people don't know how to apply this. And so, like I said, this told you what to do. Rumor time told you how to.
How? Yes. Yes.
Don't have those tools.
Yes.
That was taught in the room. You get a drink and you take a shot, see a shot, take a shot, smoke a blunt, get over it.
Right.
Every day you wake up and you do that.
Yes.
It numbs the pain. You don't deal with the pain. You numb the pain. It's the same as counter medicine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so when the anesthetic wears off, does the problem go away?
No, you got to do it again. That's where addictions come in.
There you go.
That's what lose themselves. That's where unconscious come in. And some people they want to be free, but they're stuck in them.
They're stuck. So Marquita.
Oh my goodness.
How this is why it's so important for us to tell stories. This is your story. This is part of your story. And it's so important for individuals to go through the social emotional first aid training, especially all of us in our communities. People would listen to Marquita now even more than they would listen to me or Geneva or even Vanessa. Marquita has a story, and we all have stories. Let me let you all know that right now. Everybody
has a story.
Multiple stories. What Marquita just shared. My question is, Marquita, what can we do to reach those people who it's too much trauma for them to live conscious? Because here's the thing, the RUMERTIME process, social emotional first aid, helps you live conscious. But what you're saying is there are people who the trauma is so intense, they don't want to do this. How can we get them to a place where they could receive? How could we?
So for me, you have to find your focus and fight. And so the way you get it to them, they gotta be wanting. There gotta be a fight. You gotta find. For me, I wasn't worth fighting for. My kids was worth fighting for. So you have to find your focus and fight, and you gotta be. So anybody that's powerful, you once was pitiful.
There goes another tweet.
Another tweet. Another tweet. Say that again. Say that again.
Anybody that was powerful, you was once pitiful.
You were once pitiful. There we go.
And if anybody that was strong, you was once weak. And so it's a choice. I don't like pitiful.
Right.
Right.
So pain can make you pitiful, or it can make you powerful. And so you're gonna be pitiful before you become powerful.
Oh my God, I'm here.
So how you get the people? First of all, if you sign up for it, then that's an agreement to change.
Right. That's another tweet. If you sign up for it, it's an agreement to change. Yes. Because this work requires immersiveness.
Yeah.
Yes.
It requires immersion. It requires commitment and dedication. This is not for the faint of heart. But if you want to live powerful, according to Marquita, you got to make sure that you're ready for this.
Yes.
Miss Marquita,
good to see you back.
we have some comments from our listening audience, and so I want to read a few, and then we have a question for you, Miss Marquita. So Catherine says we may have to be prepared to face our fears when we make a conscious decision to unmask and dig deeper. Sometimes it is difficult to open up and trust.
Yes.
And then the question that we have that comes from Loislyn is, how did you heal or overcome your addiction? Because now you are fully conscious.
We can't hear you.
Uh-oh.
Okay, come back in.
Yeah. And Lois informed it as a question, like, now is it you overcame because you're now fully conscious?
Okay.
And I would say yes. I believe she is growing in consciousness.
Yeah.
She's back.
Yeah.
And she can speak for herself.
We're still not hearing you.
Oh my goodness. I don't know what's happening to your vocal tones, lady.
So somebody's trying to call her, I believe, is what she said.
It's
interrupting. Okay.
But let's look at some of the other. Victoria
Quickly, because we only have 2 minutes left.
I know. Victoria says everybody. Okay, are you back?
Yes, everybody does have a story to tell.
What is going on? Everybody has a story to tell. Are you back? We can't hear you. I can read your lips though.
Yeah. Yes. But I thank all the comments, even those who were able to join us later in the conversation.
Kenty said to mute her mic
in the conversation and for sharing your comments.
Unmute your mic. She's gone. Yeah, so Victoria says everybody has a story to tell.
Yeah.
Is I'm gone? Y'all can't hear
There you are.
Yes,
there you are.
yes.
Okay. So the question was,
how did you heal or overcome your addiction? Was it because you became fully conscious?
I just found out I was fully conscious. That couldn't have been maybe doing the CFA training. I just found out I've been walking unaware. But what happened with my my addiction? You gotta fight. Like you gotta get conscious. Like, because now that was the area of my life that I had to wake up and face that I got 5 kids with 5 baby daddies. I got to wake up and face that I don't have an education and not get high and escape it. I got to face it. And so then I had to wake up and add something. I couldn't take the addiction. I couldn't take the weed away. I had to add something because there a long time. So when you wake up and try to throw your cigarettes away and your weed away, you're gonna be like, God, your stuff. That's your peace until you find new peace. That's your fake peace until you find real peace. And you can't care what nobody say. I couldn't throw it away. I couldn't subtract it. I had to. So I add the word of God. I add something different. I started reading before I got high. Before I told God, I fight. Do something. Expect something.
Right.
So I started fighting for my healing. And aware that this I so I got to fight.
So this is what she's saying, and we are over our time, but I want to just round this up. We just gotta tie this up. What Marquita just said, because some of the words got kind of muffled. She was able to find her healing and overcome addiction because she just found out that she was living unconsciously. The last 12 weeks is when she was in the social emotional first aid training. Prior to that, she had to ask herself some hard questions. She had to go through a struggle and wake up to the fact that she wants a better life. Okay. What she did, she didn't get rid of the cigarettes. She didn't get rid of the weed. She didn't get rid of the promiscuous living. She did it in conjunction. People, I want you to listen. Listen to me. She did it simultaneously. She read the word of God. She smoked some dope. She read the word of God. She smoked some cigars. She read the word of God, and she was having sex. She did it together. I want people to hear me. Do not judge anybody's story.
Amen.
Because they still doing this or they still doing that because you think you got it together and you've dug deep and you could live conscious. Ain't nobody got time for you and that crazy talk. Okay. And people have to do what they need to do to be able to move to their destiny, to move toward it. And it looks different for everybody.
That's right.
It looks different.
I have to get away from people that call you fake because they saying you fake, doing this and you doing that. You gotta know that now I'm struggling and it take place in your mind.
Yes.
Everybody can't see I changed my mind. I went from saying I'm gonna get high to the day I die to I don't want to do this no more every day. So a change already took place. I'm just doing the same thing, but I have the same mindset.
Yes.
Change your mind. Go by the problem.
Yes. Change your mindset. Change your mindset.
Which is the thing we started with, right?
Yes.
We're here to help renew minds, transform lives, and create safer communities. And one last thing, if I can plug this, what Marquita said earlier as well, the word, she immerses herself in the word, the Bible. And the Bible tells us what to do. But she said that the RUMERTIME process taught her how to do it. So the word says the what, it tells us the what. RUMERTIME teaches us how.
Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're sorry we went over by 3 minutes. Let's just quickly, one word about today's session. One word. Let's leave it with that.
Powerful.
Living conscious.
Living conscious. 2 words, Laverne. That's 2. Marquita always used to get on me. She's like, I can't just say one word. Okay. Go ahead. What it is, Vanessa?
Focus.
Focus.
Truth.
Marquita.
Fight.
Yes. And my one word is renew. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Natalie, Victoria, Taiwa, Tewa, Catherine,
Missy.
Thanks for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Natalie, Loislin, who else? We want to thank you all. Missy. Yes, we want to thank you all for coming. And we will see you in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, the fourth Monday of May. Again, thank you all. And Marquita, you were awesome, and we thank you for sharing your story.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
Thank you, Marquita.
Bye, everyone.
Blessings.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. Thank you.
So you have a curriculum for your child and youth development program. You're ready for them. Scratch! Pump your brakes, not so fast. Your staff, camp counselors, youth workers, VBS volunteers, teachers, coaches, mentors, etc., need to be educated. Have a curriculum for your child and youth development program. You're ready for them. Scratch! Pump your brakes, not so fast. Your staff, camp counselors, youth workers, VBS volunteers, teachers, coaches, mentors, etc., need to be educated, equipped, and empowered about child and adolescent social-emotional development, culturally responsive interventions, culturally responsive problem-solving strategies, child and adolescent mental health critical issues, how to recognize, understand, and manage issues related to family dynamics. Why does your staff need this training? Your staff needs this training because what are the benefits for the staff? They will better understand the connections between how their beliefs impact their behaviors. They will have more confidence in their support skills. They will become more socially, emotionally competent themselves. RUMERTIME Prevention Intervention Coaching.